What if I told you there's a tool that can completely eliminate audio and video sync headaches in post, saving you hours of editing time and boosting your professional workflow? That's exactly what we're talking about. The TC Neo Kit promises just that. And TC, that stands for Timecode. You should be using it, because syncing my audio alone, them days are long gone. Stay tuned. This is FlashFilm Academy, the channel dedicated to content creators who want to understand the business side of the industry. Welcome to the Flash 5 series, where I'll be unboxing today's product and asking 5 key questions to get to one answer. Can you make money with the Saramonic TC Neo Kit? Now, we're not here for hype. We're here to help you make smart gear decisions that grow your business and protect your profits. It ain't about flashiness. It ain't about new features. The name of the game is, can this help you make money? So before we dive into those 5 questions, I'll unbox the unit, explain why something like this could transform your workflow, especially if you're dealing with multi-camera shoots and complicated sync setups. By the end of this video, you'll know how this kit may cut your editing time in half and make you look more professional to clients, even on a tight budget. This is the Saramonic TC Neo Kit. It's a 3-pack of compact wireless timecode generators with a purpose-built charging storage case. It's designed to give you precise timecode synchronization across cameras and audio recorders without messy cabling or guesswork. Each unit features a crisp OLED display, easy dial controls, and Bluetooth syncing so you can keep everything locked in, even on complex shoots. Now, real quick, I like to keep it 100. I like to make sure I read the specs the way it's presented before I tear into it. So if I'm sounding like I'm reading it the way they wrote it, I like to start there, and you'll see why as we move through this. I just like to keep it 100 with you. All right. Next, let's talk about key features. Wireless timecode sync and sync up to 48 devices via Bluetooth. It really helps if you got the Saramonic system app, not the regular Saramonic app you've been using for your audio devices. This one's a different one. It's called Saramonic system app. Keep that in mind. One of the most important things is it has built-in crystals to prevent drift under 1 frame in 48 hours. So that's a lot. Like, that's the old standard used to be a 1 frame drift in like 24 hours. I think that's what the technical syncs do. Don't judge me on that. I'll look into that. But it used to be 1 frame over 12 or 24 hours. Now it's 1 frame over 48 hours. That's on point. That's dope. The 3 units come with a charging kit, right? Charge all 3 units simultaneously and keep them organized on set. Their compatible outputs include, now this is important, you need to listen to this because it may come with what you need already, and you may not have to buy more unless you need multiple ones. All right. ERS, BNC, and a 5-pin LEMO cables out of the box. Most people make you pay for those, especially a high-ass LEMO cable. They're high as hell. Go get a red, you'll see. You may not need it if you don't got nothing like that. The OLED display is bright for controls, real-time status, and settings at a glance. That's something you don't get with the Tentacle Syncs. You have to use the app, but we'll talk about that in a minute. Let's talk about the pros of the kit. Massive time saver. No more manual sync in post. Everything lines up automatically. Let me pause right here for a quick second. If you're dealing with multiple cameras, stop syncing them with audio. Let me tell you why. Two main reasons. One, audio takes time to travel. If one camera's closer than the other in different directions, the audio will hit it at different times, so you will never have perfect sync. You won't get it. I know you think you do, but you don't. Two, what if those cameras aren't around each other? I love having the ability to send another camera somewhere and have my camera here, and on my timeline, when I sync the two, I know exactly what was going on. So if they were playing against each other or screaming at each other or talking to each other or mad at each other or whatever, I have a real-time, accurate timeline to go back and forth between both cameras to see both sides of the story. I'm telling you, you may not think that's a big deal, but it's a big deal. It's a huge deal. And I don't care if you got two cameras, use Timecode, bro. If it's on the same shoot, use Timecode. Plus, it's so easy to just drag everything into a timeline and then you just switching cameras back and forth. Trust me, if you got more than one camera, you should be using Timecode. All right, cool. Next, let's talk about professional outputs included, because the cables cover most industry gear without extra purchase. Now, the thing is this, it only come with a few different type of cables, but it don't give you like 3 of them for each one. I wish it came with each type of cable for each one. And let me take this back. It may not have to. I like to plug mine up and leave them plugged up. That's just me. But on like Reds, they support Timecode, so they don't drift much. If I got a Sony, I want to leave it plugged up. So I'd hope that I got 3 cables that work for the Sony, or I like to leave mine plugged up in the Red. So I like 3 cables that work with Lima. However, you get 1 cable, and really, I'm just going to be real with you. If you got a device that supports Timecode, if you got F6 on up roll, like audio, and it supports Timecode, you really just need to plug it in one time to sync it, and then you can unplug it. And you can take 1 box. You really don't need 3. You can get away with 1. I like 3. But you could take 1 box and plug it in and let it go if your device support Timecode. Now, you can say, well, I can run Timecode on a Sony, yeah, through the audio jack. That's not inherently supporting Timecode. The reason why it needs to support Timecode is usually when devices support Timecode, they don't drift. They have I forgot the name of the crystal, forgive me, but the time don't drift as much as audio Timecode, where I gotta continuously feed this sound through my audio for it to stay. I can't plug it and then take it out. It don't work like that. You need to continuously feed it or it will drift because the device itself doesn't keep good Timecode. You're relying on the little Neo to keep the Timecode and pump it into your Sony. All right, so now you know the difference between if you got something higher end like Reds or FS6s or something that support Timecode, you can plug it in and sync it, take it out, plug it in the next one, sync it, take it out, and just plug it in each one until they're all on the same time, and you can keep it moving. For those who don't know a lot about Timecode, the video wasn't supposed to be this long, but since we're here, you're gonna learn a little more. All right, now, like I said, great for multi-camera workflow, great for live stream setups. Professional outputs include, like I said, cables, which covers most industry gear, all day battery life. I think the battery life is like 48 hours. Long runtime with the charging case means 0 to no downtime. And look, it don't take a lot of battery to run these things. I think Tentacle Syncs 24 or 48 hours, something like that. You're never going to run Timecode for 24 straight hours. It's not an issue. Battery life is not an issue. Let's talk about the cons. Steep price point. It's not cheap compared to entry-level devices and solutions. The features justify it. Next, I would say it's a little bit of a learning curve, right? For anybody who hasn't used Timecode, it can be unfamiliar to beginners, but it's a huge payoff. Next, extra cables require some devices. You may have to go buy some cables if you want to connect all 3 and you got the same camera and you only got 1 Lima cable in the kit. You may have to go buy 2 more Lima cables. That's it, something to think about. But don't sleep on Timecode. Don't sleep on it. And we're gonna talk about a few more cons. I think a con, and this is something that, you know, every manufacturer face, is you're locked into their ecosystem. If you wanna add more Timecode devices, wirelessly that sync. To my knowledge, you have to buy their version. Just like if you got Technical Sync and you want more, you got to buy Technical Syncs. Or if you want to use Rode, you got to buy more Rode. Now, something you need to think about when you're making this purchase, super important. You got to look at what other devices do the company you're buying into have, right? You may not think that's a big deal now, but let me tell you why. If you buy into certain ones like Technical Sync, Rode, and I'm sure they'll have some soon in Saramonic, you can get separate audio devices that automatically sync to your time code and you can record on them. So like with most of the companies, they have lav mics that sync to your time code that record 32-bit float that you can just put on people and say peace. And it's running, it records 25 hours of audio, and all of that audio is lined up with all of your video and all of your other audio. So you could be filming 5 or 6 crazy things that are in different rooms that somehow affect each other. You'll have everything in sync, so you can sit back while you're editing and just say camera 1, camera 2, camera 6, audio 1. Like you could just sit back and just have fun like it's a live event. That's the beauty of Timecode. So even if you're shooting a movie, right? You want to run a multicam setup when you're shooting a movie. And I'm gonna tell you, it's hard as hell when you're shooting a scene and you got 18 takes and you recorded audio and you're trying to remember like, damn, this audio, is this from take 3 or take 8? Because they said the same things with the same time. It's hell. Don't do that to yourself. Just get Timecode and let everything fall into place. Even cameras is hard to match cameras when you're shooting narrative work and the timing is just like, it's hell. Just Timecode it, bruh. Just get Timecode, all right? Who is this for, right? This kit is for filmmakers managing multiple cameras. If you got one camera, stop, same for you. Video shooters, documentary, event, or commercial work. Content creators who want faster post-production turnaround. Clients who expect pro-level delivery. If you're serious about multicam shooting, get rid of that damn clapper. Stop doing that hand clap crap and get something like this to take your multicam shoots to the next level, all right? And again, remember that clapper, it takes time for sound to make it to that microphone. Even though you think you're syncing well, are you really? You're syncing about as close as the speed of sound. Why do that when you can have perfection? Let's talk about benefits to the client, because there are some benefits. 1, smooth, professional, multi-source footage with no sync drift. Next, quicker turnaround times. You can deliver products faster. Next, less post-production drama, meaning fewer revisions and happier clients. Absolutely. This is something that speeds up your workflow. Let me just put it to you like this. If you're a project manager and you're paying editors and they're charging you about an hour, and normally they charge you an hour or 2 to synchronize footage, you get that hour back instantly by delivering a timeline with all the footage on it. Talking about how something pay for itself, that's a great example of how it can pay for itself. I don't know what your labor cost is to your editor or whoever's getting the footage together, but to say here's one file and they can start editing immediately pays for itself. All right, so if you're running a multi-camera shoot and want to look like a pro, you want to save time, the Saramonic TC Neo Kit is a smart investment. In my opinion, I like it. It gets the 2-3 thumbs up for me. I use multiple cameras a lot. I know what it's like, and I used to have plural eyes and all of the stuff that came out to let you sync. I was there. I had all of that. I've used, the auto syncing and Final Cut Pro and the auto sync in DaVinci. They got nothing on real Timecode. In fact, I know for sure DaVinci Resolve, once you drop it in there, it'll read the timecode and line it up automatically. Or I like to say automatically. So I think you can do it. I'm sure you can synchronize with Timecode on Final Cut Pro, but it's not as automatic as it is in the DaVinci Resolve side. All right. As always, listen, I'm trying to bring you great content to help you make better business decisions. That's the difference between us and the other guys. If you like what you learned here today or have any questions or comments, post them below in the comment section. And as always, be inspired, be creative, but let's make this the year you be profitable. I'll see you in the next one.